Yo, what's good, man? It's your boy Derek Branch here at Saint Discussions on Strike Seven Sports. This is another episode of the SDS Daily, which stands for Saint Discussions Daily, episode number 2, which is a like a weekly show that I'm going to do discussing the latest news and notes concerning the New Orleans Saints. Something that I'll be discussing weekly, just to get caught up on everything that's happened throughout the week concerning the team. So a lot has transpired in the last, I would say, 48 hours with New Orleans Saints. Signed a new player, another LSU player that got everybody excited. Um, Rookie mini camp has started. The schedule release has begun. Well, the schedule was put out. The official schedule was put out on Thursday. It was pretty much leaked early Thursday morning, so we know who we playing. The Saints playing, but I won't get this off my chest first, man. I want to talk about this first issue. Some chatter that I've been seeing online um, concerning the Saints, and it's mainly dealing with Sean Payton and the narrative of him holding the team back based on what we see with that Dennis Allen is making, and starting to one that's starting to put this type of energy out there that Peyton held the team back over the last couple of years by not making these types of moves. First off, man, I'm gonna just say that I would say Sean Payton did not hold the Saints back, in my opinion. I just don't feel like he did. I felt like what happened last year. Um, I felt like last year that the stress of being an NFL head coach for all those years with one team, finally caught up to Sean Payton. With dealing with the Goodell, dealing with the other stuff from the Bonnygate years, and there's even a story out there that says um that the Saints were the most targeted team in the league when it came to penalties. That was written by Mike Triplett of ESPN.com, who was the Saints beat writer for the team. I think that caught up with him. There's a lot going on, man, that we probably never really know about. But Sean Payton just felt like he didn't want to be there anymore, and I can accept that. I can respect that. He when things like when stuff started happening, such as the Michael Thomas situation, and he was kind of pretty much like nonchalant about how to address it, and the wide receiver issue where he was pretty much was you know satisfied with the guys that he has on the roster at the time. To me, that was just a signs of burnout right there, man. He just didn't want to deal with it, and that's what happened. And that's what happened in my opinion. That's why things went the way it were last year. But in spite of that, the Saints battled back to almost making the playoffs. You know, almost went 9-8 last year, and the years prior to that, the Saints starting like dating back to 2017 were 11-5, 13-3, 13-3, 12-4, 9-8. So Sean Payton pretty much finished out the year over 500 as a head coach. So he won 4 divisions. His last 5 years, I would say last what 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Last 5 years, he won 4 division titles. 4 division titles, won 13 games back to back, had a number one seed while he was at it in 2018, and done a bunch of playoff appearances. And that was with a declining Drew Brees. No, Sean Payton did not hold the Saints back. They were they were trying to make moves to get the players to join this team, but then it fell through. Remember the AJ, excuse me, the AJ Green situation, but that got him, and then they signed. He signed with the Saints later on that year after the season. So there were attempts to get other receivers on this team. It just didn't work out. You know what I'm saying? Even they were trying to get Odell Beckham last year. He went hard to go after Odell Beckham last year. Look what happened with that. The Rams swooped in and got Odell. So you can't really say he held them back, man. He didn't held them back, bro. He drafted a lot of good players on his team, bro. A lot of really good players. Marshawn Lattimore, Marcus Williams, Trey Henderson, Von Bell, David Onyemata. Signed Quan, got traded for Quan Alexander. Signed Demario Davis. Drafted C.D. Deuce in I think in the fourth round of the draft. Draft Eric McCoy, all pro center. Draft Ryan Ramchick. So he didn't hold the team back, man. And I don't know what people talking about the Saints being this aggressive during the off season. They have been aggressive like this before. This is just something new that people. This people just want something new just to have it, just to say that it's new with Dennis Allen. You know, so I'm not. I think Dennis Allen is doing a great job on the off season so far. I'll give him an A. But let's not put him down. Let's not put down Sean Payton just to elevate him. You can do both. You know, so you can recognize, you can respect what Sean Payton did for the team, for the region. He can recognize and praise the efforts that Dennis Allen has did so far with the Saints. I will say this though, if Sean Payton was still the coach here, I think Russell Wilson would be a Saint compared to compared to him going to Seattle, going to Denver. He'll be going to the Saints, and I think they will still pick up Tyrann Mathieu. They still sign Tyrann Mathieu, and they will still sign Jarvis Landry. That's what I think would have happened if Sean Payton was still here. So Sean Payton did not hold the Saints back, in my opinion. I felt like he did not hold his team back. He did what he can with the roster he put together. You know, he just couldn't get it over the hump. No call in 2018 controversial decision by the refs. 2019 was another controversial decision to push off by Kyle Rudolph against PJ Williams. 2020 pandemic year, still went 12-4. Jared Cook fumble. You know, could it be Tampa Bay in the playoffs? And then last year, the injuries just mounted up. But despite of all that, the team went 9-8, man, and missed the playoffs by a game, by no fault of their own, by what San Francisco did. So no, he didn't hold the team back. What up, Dada? Donna says some of Payton's actions in games held us back. He should let Drew grow earlier than late, not finding a QB for the future when Drew was 38, 39, everyone's seen a decline. Yeah, you can say that. You can say that, man. But what's done is done, man. They weren't gonna let this guy go like that. Drew Brees go out like that. They're gonna maximize every effort to build a contender around him to get Drew Brees a ring before he retires. That's just plain and simple, man. But you might have something in Jameis Winston, man. And now the only gripe I got with Sean Payton is the receiver stuff, man. How you didn't address the wide receiver room, man. That was my only issue, pretty much so far with Payton. I think sometimes he, with the draft, some of the guys, he picked, Peyton Turner, the guys like that, they always, with Sean Payton, the Saints always draft players that you don't expect them to draft, guys you never heard of. That's my thing with it. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man. Nah, he didn't held them back as far as making moves in the offseason. He didn't held the team back, man. The team, it just didn't work out in our favor, And hopefully when Dennis Allen, now that Payton is gone, the target, the bullseye will be off the Saints now that he's gone. But it is what it is, man. I'm not gonna put down Sean Payton to elevate Dennis Allen, because Dennis Allen hasn't even gotten on the field. The Saints haven't even gotten on the field yet, man. We don't know how Dennis Allen is going to handle the schedule, this new schedule, how the tougher portion of the schedule. We don't know how that's going to go. So we just got to see everything plays out with Dennis Allen. But So far, man, he's doing a good job, man. I think he's ready, you know, but we'll see, man. So there you have it. All right, so moving right along with the latest Saints news and notes. So Thursday, the 2022 schedule was released. The official release of the Saints schedule was leaked early in the morning, like around 6:30, 7 o'clock ish. Schedule was released, and they have the Saints playing. I'm gonna just go over. I'm not gonna go over the entire schedule. We're gonna break up like the first 5 games, first 5 to 6 games on the schedule. I'm gonna talk about the difficult ones where the season may make or break the season for the Saints in the later video during the week. But week 1, they got the Saints playing the Falcons. We got to go to Atlanta. Week 2, 12 o'clock noon against Tampa Bay. Week 3 on the road against Carolina. Week 4 at London against the Minnesota Vikings. That is a home game for the Saints, but it's playing in London. But they'll be the home team, so the stadium in London will resemble Saints colors. So on the end zones. And week 5, they got Seattle. So during the stretch, I think it would be the Saints could be in good shape if they can go. There's a good chance they can go 5-1. You can go 5-0 during the stretch, man. Minnesota has a new coach to work with Kirk Cousins. But the Saints have had some interesting battles with the Minnesota Vikings over the years. Most recently, the 7 touchdowns by Alvin Kamara, the Minneapolis Miracle, Kyle Rudolph pushing off of PJ Williams to catch that touchdown in the 2019 playoff game. The Brett Favre interception to Tracy Porter. So that's some history there between those two teams. Carolina, I don't know. It depends on who the quarterback is. I think they should beat Carolina. Sam Darnold is very easy to figure out. Seattle, they're in rebuilding mode. So that's another win. That's an easy win. Atlanta, going on the road to Atlanta. Got to deal with Marcus Mariota, Drake London, Kyle Pitts. That should be a winnable game as well, but you never know how things are going to play out in that first game of the year on the road at Atlanta. But if they can go, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. They can go 4-0, 5-0 before the Bengals game in the Dome. I think the Saints will be in good shape. Could be in good shape by that time. But one thing I did notice is that I think there's no primetime games for the Saints on Sunday Night Football. Saw a lot of chat online about that. A lot of people were disappointed by that, and that could change. Late in the season once the networks start to get a feel of how the Saints are. That could change in the future. But they play Baltimore on the road, Baltimore at home. Cardinals, they go to Arizona at Monday night, but no Sunday night games this year. So we'll see how everything plays out, man. But I think the Saints could take care of business, man. I think they're gonna take care of business this year. I just want to see how Dennis Allen, handles the adversity once it comes, because it will. How he's gonna handle that? How what kind of adjustments he's gonna make since he's now the head coach and not a defensive coordinator. So we'll see how everything plays out with that. Donna says 11-7 in my opinion, 12-5. Yeah, that's what I'm leaning at right now, man. Leaning towards 10-7, 11-6 type of season for the Saints. No, not 10-7, 11-6 type of season for New Orleans this year, based on the personnel we have, the roster. I think the Saints can hang with anybody. I know the defense is always going to bring his A game, but I think the Saints will be ready, man. I know people people, I saw a few people online complaining about the schedule, saying how tough it was and how the league didn't do a Saints any favors. I'm just kind of, I mean, it is what it is to me because the Saints have had tough schedules for the last, I would say, the last 5 to 6 years. Saints have had a tough schedule, and they've done pretty well in each of those years with that tough schedule. Other than last year when things went off the rail with the uh the injury to Jameis Winston. Didn't have Michael Thomas for the majority, well, the entire year. Alvin Kamara missed time. Mark Ingram was missing time. I think the only healthy player that entire year was Marquez Callaway. Ain't that so? Marquez Callaway was on a healthy player. David Onyemata was suspended for 6 games. So we just missing a lot of personnel last year that caught up to the Saints. Then you had Ida, COVID breakout. If you didn't have that breakout, if the Saints didn't have that breakout, they could have beaten the Miami Dolphins. And that playoff spot pretty much was theirs, and pretty much it was theirs in their last game of the year, because San Francisco couldn't do anything to even get in that situation. But what's done is done now, and we on to a new year. But later in the week, we're going to look at that schedule. We'll look at the tougher opponents on that schedule and just break down those games and how things can play out for the Saints. But first, I think the first 5 to 6 games of the year are pretty easy for the Saints to win. It may be without Marcus May, the safety that they pick up from the New York Jets, because due to DUI, he got charged with back last year, and while he's with the Jets, so he hasn't gotten his punishment for that yet. But we'll see how that plays out. And it could be also without Alvin Kamara as well because of that incident that occurred in Las Vegas at the Pro Bowl. But we still know the full details of that situation. The case can flip and then in Kamara's favor, and he may not serve no time. Just like with Marshawn Lattimore, everybody thought Marshawn Lattimore was going to get suspended. We kept waiting for it. We made a move. They made a move to get Bradley Roby. They drafted Paulson Adebo, and it never materialized. Marshawn Lattimore played the entire. Other than that game, I think that those 2 games he missed because of that thumb injury, he played the entire for the majority of the season. All pro corner, went to the Pro Bowl. So we'll see. All right. In other news, the big news that went down on Friday is that Saints signed former LSU wide receiver, former Lutcher Bulldog, Jarvis Landry, to a 1-year deal, according to the reports. So now, with Jarvis Landry, you have, addition to Jarvis Landry, you now have Chris Olave, Juice, Michael Thomas, Deontay Hardy, my bad. And you also have Marquez Callaway on that offense to deal with. And the tight end, Taysom Hill and Adam Trautman. I think Trautman is due for a breakout year with this team. That's what I think. He's due to have a big year with this team. I think Taysom Hill is going to be really good at that position, the tight end position. Hopefully he can be ready by the start of the season. You never know with that lift strength. But we'll find with that lift strength injury they suffered against the Falcons. But we'll find out, as leading up to training camp and the voluntary mini camp. So Dada says, say OBJ want to come through. Wonder will they really seem like they want to entertain that? It's a possibility, man. Odell, man, you never know where Odell's head at sometime, man. But I won't mind having Odell, bro. I'm an Odell fan. Interested to see how all those egos will act in that locker room. Just if he fits the culture, man. If the Saints believe that, well, they do believe he fits the culture because they tried to sign him last year, but. The cap situation, Saints got a lot of money. They got money to spend right now. If they believe there's some room for him to get on that roster, they will make it happen. And the good thing about Odell is that you saw it with the Rams, is that it's better when he is not the number one guy with the wide receivers. Instead he plays his own role with the team instead of being the number one guy. I think he's best suited for that. But if they got room, they got the money for it to happen, and they believe he could fit into that scheme, they're gonna make it happen. I'm he still hasn't signed with, with the LA Rams yet, man. So something's up with that. So we'll see. If OBJ come, Traquan or Callaway will be gone. I think you gotta let Callaway, not Callaway. I think Traquan gotta go. You gotta let Traquan go, man. I think Callaway is younger than Odell, and I think he's the real deal, man. I keep saying this, man. He's the one of the biggest beneficiary of all this stuff going on with the new weapons with Olave and Juice Landry. Now it's gonna be Marquez Callaway, man. Because you try to double up on one of those guys, somebody gonna get open, man. Somebody gonna get open, gonna separate. And hopefully, man, this guy, I think he's going to his third year in the offense with the offense, man. I think he's gonna be up to speed on what to do. Last year it was just a lot put on that guy's that plate on his plate. Young guy, second year in the league, undrafted. You know, he's a number one wide receiver on the team. Michael Thomas out, and you got him going against a defense's number one corner or number two. So that's a lot for a second year guy that's not used to that type of responsibility. But he handled it well. He had his issues, had his moments, and he had his days when he had played pretty well. I thought he finished the season pretty strong, in my opinion. Was the Saints leading wide receiver, but didn't get 1,000 yards this year though. But I think he's gonna do well this year. But Traquan, I think Traquan will be the odd man out, man, because he just not enough room. That's a lot of mouths to feed. You would have OBJ, Jarvis Landry, Michael Thomas, um, Chris Olave. That's like four guys right there, man. Four guys you got to get the ball to. And it can happen, man, because the Rams did it last year. They had Van Jefferson, OBJ, Robert Woods until he got hurt, Cooper Cup. So it can happen, man. It can happen. It's very possible you can fit him onto this offense. It's just the price, And also, OBJ is coming off a torn ACL injury that he suffered against the Cincinnati Bengals in Super Bowl 57, 56. I'm not sure, man. I lost count, but in last year's Super Bowl. So he'll be out. He'll be out for a little time before he can get back onto the field. So we'll see how everything plays out, man. But I'm excited, for the season. Excited that the season has started. I like the fact that rookie minicamp has begun. These are only little small steps to lead up to the Saints training camp that starts in July. So I'm looking forward to how everything plays out, man. Saints will be Super Bowl bound with OBJ even he comes back in November, December. I agree. It should be. Because the defense is still A1, man. It's still what it is, but it's a bad crew. And I think they fear no one. They fear no quarterback, man. No quarterback they feared, man. They even give in 2020 when they played the Chiefs, they give Mahomes some issues, man. They know how to play the best quarterbacks in the league, bro. They know how to take care of Brady. They held Aaron Rodgers to 3 points. They haven't played Stafford yet. They got to take care of him this year, but we're gonna discuss that in a later date. But those big games, the Saints need to win. But looking forward to everything plays out, man. Really enjoying it, and hopefully, man, the Saints can finish out the season strong with at least with very minimal injuries, man. Hopefully, we got this new physician, a new trainer there that help with these injuries. Because something was just off last year with guys just getting hurt, man. Something was just off with that, man. That was crazy, man. How that was happening last year. So we'll see how everything plays out, man. All right, man. That's all I have for y'all for right now, man. Give me a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how y'all feel. How you feel about the Saints 2022 schedule? How you foresee everything playing out? Do you think Sean Payton held the Saints back? What else? How you feel with Jarvis Landry joining the team? I would thank everybody. I like to thank everybody that newly subscribed to the channel. We're up to 306 now. I really appreciate it. Thank everybody for the support and have a blessed day. Enjoy your Sunday. Peace. Who that? I'm out.